Well, here's the setup for the King of the Hill, Chris. Brian Voss had an excellent week, finished 5th in the tournament, just missed the championship round. And Ricky Ward, who just whacked Walter Ray last week, really struggled this week in the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see if the lefty can compete with the righty. Here we go.
Oh, a pesky four pin for Brian Voss, who incidentally was 2 years old when we started this series of telecasts back in 1962. Ricky Ward, on the other hand, waited 8 years to be born after we got started.
The 4-pin for Voss at a good opening shot, 50-lane bowling center, synthetic lanes laid over the old wood lanes.
Beautiful. $10,000 to the winner, and the winner naturally walks away with the check. The loser, a lot of glory by being on our last telecast, Bo.
You're right.
What?
Two things to watch with Ricky Ward here. Number one, last week he only averaged 202, but came out and shot 257. As you see him with a somewhat errant shot here in his first frame. And look at that rack. If you'll notice very closely, the 1 and 3 pins are separated on the right and closed on the left. And what that does really is it makes it very difficult for the left-hander to penetrate into the 5 pins. There's a slightly open rack for the right-hander. A big disadvantage for Ricky Ward. Now he's playing a medium line in this area. And he's throwing a real solid lifted ball right between the second and third arrows.
Well, he left one on the opposite side now, a 6-pin. I'd like to point out here early that I've only had 2 full-time sidekicks on this series. The first was Billy Whaley, and for the last 23, Bo.
Thank you, partner. It's been a pleasure.
And I might add that we're in Jack Buck's hometown, although he was born in Ohio. He worked with me for a while, as did Jim Simpson.
Some big names there.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Buck, an avid bowling fan. Now we look at Brian Voss. Look at him in front of the rack. He's playing the big hook, and these racks stick out about 6 feet on the approach. Brian's goes in front of us.
Whoa.
Rather unusual lead. Brian Voss crosses over to something. Never. All right, and we'll see it here. You see him coming from an inside line, not playing that extreme outside line we saw before. Watch the action. The left-hand part of the screen. The ball actually drives through and takes out the 4 straight back, and I agree with him. I've never seen a solid Brooklyn 7-pin. Very unusual.
So this is the King of the Hill match, the Showboat King of the Hill match, and it's featuring Brian Voss, who won in Wichita, and Ricky Ward, who won in Detroit.
Full grip of Voss, great player, but his main weapon is physical strength. This guy is physically strong.
Feet strikes in the front.
We're across the Mississippi River, not too far from the great metropolis of St. Louis.
Well, what Ricky Ward is trying to do is the same as probably trying to hit a driver 300 yards into a 12-yard wide fairway. Look at how tight this pocket is. As this camera pans in, see the 1 and 3 are wide open. Well, that's for the right-handers. The lefty's very tight.
Spin the foot.
Dave Schroeder, who is down controlling things on the headset in connection with our producer Carol Letty and our director Norm Samet. Good break for Ricky Ward, getting his first strike in 4 frames. As we have a little feedback, we're going to leave and return. The name of the bowl, and Brian Voss and Ricky Ward will continue their head-to-head King of the Hill match.
Voss leads by 2 pins, strike up the third, can extend his lead over Ricky Ward to 12 with a strike.
Up.
Well, now, Nelson, you're a giver of tips. How should we shoot this one?
Well, Chris, I think with the strike up, you got to go for the pin count. So he's got to go over in the three in the right-hand corner and try to bounce him around and knock him out. Voss is up very quickly here, giving it a whack. This is the right thing to do. Wow.
Almost made it.
These pros are incredible.
That's as close as you can come without making it. One trivia note, the only player to ever make that split on ABC is in our telecast today. Doug Kent made that in 1991 in Baltimore. Doug will be in the opening match.
Number 6 on the left lane, and Doug will be.
They're not
bowling
easy out
Steve.
there, folks. I'm telling you what.
He says they're not easy. Actually, the pros this week, for a total of 2,196 games, averaged just 196. Now, you're talking about the best players in the world, so it's a very demanding lane condition, although I think Voss is playing the wrong line. I think it's an outside line this week.
Spin the fifth.
Okay, coming up next, except on the West Coast on ABC Sports, we go live to the Winston West NASCAR circuit for the Auto Club 200 from the California Speedway in Fontana, California.
See if Ward can jump on this open frame. He has a little better rack. The pins don't come down exactly the same every time. There's a half-inch tolerance legally.
The 4-7.
4-7.
You know, this just reflects the scoring we've seen, Chris, in the last 8 or 9 weeks on the Pro Bowlers Tour. The PBA has opted to put out a very demanding lane condition, and obviously the best pullers are getting to the top. You got the Webbers and the Walter Rays, but it's very difficult to score.
10 pins separating these two professionals. 28-year-old Ricky Ward.
Spin the fifth.
It's time for the pipe.
He likes the nickname that we coined for him last week. As you look at the Beef, I call him the Beef. He once posed for a ladies' beefcake magazine. This guy likes the nickname Bulldog.
Strike in the 6th frame for Ricky Ward. Now Voss back up with the spare working. He'll be shooting in the 6th.
A little contemplating here by Voss. I think his best
One more
move.
time. One more time.
He's way over here in front of the ball return rack, slide in this area, and it'll be right over the center lane. Now, this is very dry right here in the center, though, so he really has to project the ball.
Picked up high on that one. 3-6.
All right, Beef, here's what you do. That inside line's not working. Here you can see the angle he's playing between the 4th and 5th arrows, trying to just sail it back in the pocket, but it's very dry in the center of the lane. The best shot, you'll see it from our power finalists, will be outside the first arrow.
Spare in the 6th for Brian Voss. Andrea, Joshua, and Cameron in Atlanta watching this telecast. They never miss one when dad and husband is on the tube.
Can't blame him. Not only a great player, but make $10,000 if you can win this game. Here we go, 7th frame.
These strikes.
Brian Voss. It's only his 2nd strike of this match. And look at the form, and look at the anxiety, and the hoping and wishing, and he gets it. We'll be back. We're back again in southern Illinois, just across the mighty Mississippi from St. Louis. We just had a nice thing happen to him as we look at Ricky Ward. 2 dozen roses, red and white, with the card, good luck and best wishes in your new endeavors. Clyde and Marcy Ward. I won't try to read those again. But thank you, Ward, for your son. We appreciate it.
A little bit unusual. Oh, that's his shooting.
Ricky, your mom and dad would have good taste in flowers. Believe me, they are gorgeous. Right, Lorinda? The 2. Okay, Nelson Burton Jr.
Thank you, Chris. With me is Doug Kidd. Doug, fourth place, 36 years on ABC. What is your best memory of the telecast?
36 years? I'm only 30 years old, so I wouldn't know. I think I really like the old shows of Mark Roth and Marshall Ullman. Those shows have so much quality and good memories. But the one that stands out the most is probably the year I bowled Pete Weber in his hometown. And I'm looking for a rematch today. Hopefully that'll happen.
He's a great young player coming up, Chris, and he'll be in the next match.
You bet. He's from a lovely area, Canandaigua, New York. And Ricky now will have to attempt to cover 3-5, and shouldn't be any problem for him. Ricky Ward of North Fort Myers, Florida.
Good spirit.
Spit.
Unbelievable.
It's careful setup by Brian Voss.
Oh.
2-8-10 on the right lane.
2-8-10.
All right, Voss trying an outside line now. He gave up on that inside, and the ball sails along oil. He's a 2-8-10, a split we see so often in the PBA Tour. The best thing he can do is just try to bounce the 2 and 8 over into the 10.
Oh.
No can do.
Elbow, it's second open frame now.
Finish on that lane.
Bo?
All right, Chris, and with me over here is Steve Jarrow. Steve, obviously, you're only 30 years old, and so you couldn't see the first 6 years of the PBA Tour, but what's your fondest memory?
I'll tell you, I think I'm much like everybody else. I think I used to rush home from junior leagues to watch the tour growing up. But a lot of idols out here that I get to compete against now.
Oh.
Among that, I got to win my first title the first time I was ever on TV, and I'll never forget that. There's memories that'll last a lifetime.
He's a great player. He'll be up in the next match, Chris, and he was very kind to me. He only beat me 498 pins this week. Back to you.
Although, like the Olympic creed, it's not in winning, but taking part. There
Spare.
in the ninth frame, and Ricky Ward leads by 24. Spare up, ninth frame shot.
Oh. 7.
Well, Ricky Ward's going to win this match, Chris, by default. The very demanding conditions we've seen all year, and once again, it kind of reflects in the 300s. In 1996, there were 6 perfect games per tournament. This year, there's only been 3 perfect games per tournament, so much more demanding lane conditions.
You know, tonight on ABC, it's a whole new look on Saturday night. First, Urkel and the Family Matters gang moved to Saturday, followed by Mark Curry in the season premiere of Hangin' with Mr. Cooper. Then Annie Potts stars in Dangerous Minds, followed by an all-new spy game. Tonight, you want to be on ABC.
What, that means 9?
9 pins for a victory on the first ball. 9 pins. 10,000 right there.
Yep.
I'm happy.
The son of the parents who sent us flowers, though.
Oh, my. So nice. I'll tell you what, Brian Voss, nice guy, too. He says, hey,
Oh,
you
yes.
happy with that 10,000? Well, the bulldog ate the beef today. 194 with a spare.
Why am I step up in front of you today?
There's the winner of this ABC Sports presentation.
That's a good match.
We'll continue
Like
after
and
this word
subscribe.
from our ABC